Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. You could always, I'm talking stuff. You could always go grab the other computer for me to read. Yeah.
So both computers going?
Another tablet broke, so yeah. They don't like us. Technology does not
Well,
like
they were
us.
both very old.
They're old tablets though, and it's an iPad, and it won't update because it's an old iPad, like super duper old. So we have just no tablets now, only computers and cell phones. So
This one has an ad. It's skipping it, but is the ad supposed to start before you're live?
we're going to read the comments real quick. See who's all here. Oh, today's Sunday. So Sunday. It's the 9th of January. All right, we got Sherry here, Teresa here, Mary, Deborah, Ellen, Marianne. No, I'm not feeling any better. I actually think it's either a sinus infection or a cold or the flu. CJ just had the flu, so it could be that. And that's why I feel like this. I hate this because I have to scroll like this. We got Christy here, Linda, Judy, Delia, April, Paula. I have to watch on my computer and TV. That's funny. Jane is here. Melina is here. Susan. It's snowing 20 plus inches of snow. Holy moly, I would, yeah. Nope, not me. Never. It's beautiful to look at, but not to play in. Let's see. Jane had to go. Everyone's saying it's a lot of snow. We got Nadine here. Diana's here. Thank you, Ellen, for the welcoming. L. Robbie is here. Susan is here. Shelly. Let's see. Christy. Viva. Brenda. Wow. So hard to scroll on this thing. Kim is here. Carmen is here. Bonnie. Darlene. Oh man, it's scrolled and now I can't see. I hate this. Okay, we got Darlene, Linda, Glennie, Angela, Marie, Mary, Tracy, Paula, Mary Jane, Mary, Shelly. She has an old iPad too that won't update. It's an old device thing. It's like they make them to where you have to buy another one.
They do.
It's so dumb, and they're expensive too. But I don't want any more products. That's it. That was just to have, you know. Got Janet, Paula, Keisha, Beverly, Jojo, Beverly, Dar, Carissa, Lori, Robin, Yo-Yo Crafter, Angela, Maggie, Mary, Pam, Sandy, Claudia, Eleanor, Paula, Sylvia, Terry, Karen, Valerie, Denise, Beverly, got Linda, Cheryl, Ann, Jacqueline, Donna, Lori, Blaze, Scott E. Campbell, Cindy, Vicky, Sheila, Deborah, Geraldine, Jill, Sherry, Lauren, Shirley, Carla, Shirley, Melissa. I'm still going, guys. Vicky, Sarah, Walter, Sheila. There's a lot of new names here, so welcome everybody that's new and finally catching a live stream. Catherine, Doris, Ella, Deborah, Angela, Heather, Carrie, Donna, still going, Brenda, Karen, and Donna. Wow, all of you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to open my laptop too, just so that I can see comments as well as we're going on through here. Because that makes it so much easier. That way he doesn't always have to pass me that laptop. The fan stays on at all times. It gets so hot. Yeah,
hot.
it's already very hot. So I'm gonna just do my laptop and that laptop today. That way we have two things going. And I should mute this as well. Put it there. That way I can see too. All right. So today I am going to be working on the same thing I was last Sunday. So last Sunday I started a new block with some, I can't call them scraps because they were new layer cake squares, but they were small 14-piece sets inside of little like sampler packages. And so I started making blocks. I made these little guys right here. And I haven't done anything since last week. So today is the first time. I've been working on other projects and filming and editing, and I had just been a really busy person since it's just me, and I trying to get some stuff done. So, and today I've been filming all day again because I'm long arm quilting. So I got to throw in at least one or two long arm quilting videos a month, and then obviously I have all my Sew Sundays. I got to do all my Wednesday videos, which usually I try to pre-record those, but there are times where I just get that one in that week and that's it because I'm working on other projects that distract me. So that's why I'm not starting anything new. This is going to be until this is done. So if this doesn't get finished today, it'll be next Sunday as well, and we will just sit, sew, and chat.
Well, they're all saying those are very pretty.
There is just so many things that I am doing and need to get done that, being a content creator takes a lot of effort. And I'm definitely putting a lot of effort into things lately. All right, so these are my 14 that I didn't cut up yet. So we're just going to work on the ones that are sewn into hourglass or quarter square triangle blocks. I'm going to do this for now. Actually, these can come over here because those I'm going to be sewing on, but I need a mat that I can rotate. And that way I can cut these up. Whoo-wee. I'm going to just like cut them all and then stack them all in my way and then just slide them over to me and just.
Do you go through your Fiskar mat?
Yeah, I got a new one. This is a new Fiskars mat. My other one is done. Way done. Both sides of it ruined in 3 years. Like super ruined. But this new one should last another 3 years.
Your grandma's quilt is just absolutely stunning. Great job.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, I posted a picture in Facebook for those that want to see my grandma with her quilt.
Did you find your new wave fabric?
No, I did not, and I've been so busy that I haven't actually been looking. I'm like super busy, guys, but I did get the emails that everybody sent and all the messages on Facebook. So I will be looking at all those as soon as I get a chance to sit down and actually, do some stuff. But right now I'm like so busy. And I already have another client quilt that I got to do before that one anyway. So it gives me plenty of time, hopefully, to find the fabric that's needed. All right, so I'm just going to do all the things that I'm doing with this block. Turning one turn. Turning and turning. So I'm going to just stack them out of the way for now in their order here to the side where you guys can't even see anyway. I'm just going to make a nice big stack of all this. And then after I'm done, we'll start sewing them all together in a assembly line style.
What are your cutting measurements?
All right, so just so you guys, a quick reminder. I cut these and then split them up, put the tops to the bottom in an order. If you go to last week's video, you can get the whole thing. And then they were cut corner to corner, and then I mixed them up and then sewed them back together into an hourglass. Then, once they're in an hourglass and pressed, you could either straighten it up at this point. I'm not straightening anything up. I am sewing as they are. There is no sense in straightening the whole thing up. I mean, if you're just going to be cutting it and moving them around and sewing it back together anyway. When I am 100% completely done, because the blocks still go together whether they're wonky or not. When I'm 100% completely done, if all the blocks are not the same size, trim them to the right size. You can see it's laying on a line right now, and it's not that straight, but it's working. That's all that matters. So from the center out, I'm cutting 2.5 inches from the center out like this, and then I rotate and then cut from the center out and rotate and cut from the center out, all at 2.5 inches. And I'm lining up the lines on the ruler here, the 2.5 inch mark is on the center, and I'm also lining up my 45-degree line all at the same time. And I'm so used to it that I don't really have to lay out too much because I've been doing this for a long time, but it's pretty simple to do. It's not very hard, and it's definitely really awesome results. So again, I'm just separating the whole entire thing like this. I'm only turning the center square once, and then I'm turning the 4 corners all the way around like this. So that's all I'm doing. So I'm just moving things all the way around. And then right now, I'm just stacking them out of the way because just making a nice big stack. That way I can just sew them all together in bulk. And I shouldn't get anything out of order. And hopefully Scott don't when he's pressing. Because he's not used to when I do it this way. He doesn't really press for me when I'm doing things like this.
I have to press them in order?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Am I ready to start?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Because I have to turn the iron on.
So I just turn it and turn it and turn it. If you have a regular rotating mat, that would probably make things easier. All I have is these, but you know what? They work, and it's what I have, and I'm not going to go spend, like, I don't know how much they are. They're like $55 or something for a rotating mat. I'm not going to go spend that when I already have this. Oops. Turn them around first, Tiffy. Then move them. One turn and all the way around. So just going to move all my pieces, stacking them all up.
Angela says, I wish they could figure out a way of making these boards so they don't warp.
Yeah,
it's
right?
for the heat of the iron, but would be nice if the propulsion had another layer. So.
Like they had, like if they had some kind of specialty, like chemical that's in between the mat and the iron, that would be cool too. Like a gel maybe to absorb the heat before it hits this mat. That would be actually pretty cool. But unfortunately, nope, they all warp and it sucks. But what can you do? It still works. It's still, I just have to bow my rulers and you have to work with that. But it's not that bad. I mean, any more warped than what it already is, and I'll probably have to toss it because there's no way. I've tried books and everything to lay this flat, and it does not lay flat. I've tried heating it up and then putting stuff on it. It doesn't work that way.
Well, you have 2 of those.
Yeah. Yep, I have 2 of these, and they're both warped. And one the glue came off of several times. I've had to glue it now. So it has what is it called? Hot glue gun glue. Because it just kept coming off and kept coming off. And I'll show you guys my nice little stack here in a minute. I'm just gonna finish cutting these first so that way it goes quicker for me. I'm at least gonna sew all these blocks first and then I'll move on to the next.
Christy wants to know if I can take it apart for you to put a piece of plywood in the middle.
Probably could. But then it would
says
be
maybe
really
I should try
heavy.
sitting on mine.
It would be really heavy if it had plywood in it, but I mean, it works for what I need it for. I do have the 24 by 18 inch mats, but they're harder to turn right here in this area. I need a smaller mat for that, you know. I do have a couple of those 24 by 18s though. I just don't use them like I should. All right, everything's turned. I'm gonna stack them up. And then I'm just gonna, like, when I'm finally done doing this cutting and stacking, I'm gonna just chain sew them together using all the whites, you know. I'm just gonna put all the little ones on the white first, and then I'll do all the bigger ones on the white first. If that makes any sense. You guys will see in a second. It's the chain style. Just gonna assembly line chain piece it all.
Janet used her laptop. Her mat as a laptop mat, and it worked.
That's funny. I mean, if you only use these to take them to like a retreat or something, it's fine. Just don't leave your iron on too hot with it, you know what I mean? Because that's what does it, is super hot irons. But then how else do you press a block? You need a super hot iron to do that. It's funny. Next. I was so behind. I had so many of these to do. This is all I use these for. Every now and then during a video, I'll pull it out the sit-and iron with my wireless iron or cordless iron. You know what I'm saying. This quilt will be super cute though when I finally finish it, if I ever find it. The cool part about it being bowed is I can pick my ruler up easier. One turn, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. Stack it up.
Brenda says, I have complete faith in your Tiffany.
Yeah, I'll get it done. I will, I will, I will.
What's the name of the quilt that you gave your grandmother?
An angel's hug. It's a memory quilt. Yep, she loves it. She loves it, loves it, loves it. She was definitely not expecting it to be as big as it was. She's like, I thought I was just getting a lap quilt. My mom's like, Tiffany's go big or go home. I used up all of it. When she found out the rest of it was all inside the pillow too, she was like amazed.
Christine's a new sewer. She's having a hard time keeping her lines straight while quilting. Any suggestions?
While quilting, I would suggest try painter's tape. I don't even bother. I just leave my lines crooked if I'm sewing or when I'm quilting on sit down machine. I don't care. Usually, like if you're doing tight quilting, I would say follow the edge of the foot, or they have a foot that has the walking foot that has a guide on it. Let me see if I have it in here so I could show you. So they make walking foots, and I don't know how many machines have this, but has this thing. Let me come up to the camera with it. So there's a lot of machines that have a walking foot that looks like this. And there's this hole on the back, and they come with this weird chingamabobber. And you stick this chingamabobber in said hole to the distance that you want it, and then your previous sewn line goes on here, and your new sew line goes here. And then when you move to the other side, you take this thingamabobber out and you put it on this side, and you sew down a new line using this other thing as your following guide. So that's how you would keep straight lines. Not all walking feet have these things, but you can buy them separately for your machine if you look it up. But that's what I used for straight lines for a long time. Yeah, true. Oops, let's put that back in there. But yeah, that's a good thing to have, that little thingamabobber, the little walking foot guide. Like I said, some machines have them, some didn't come with them. So I guess it's up to the model of the machine you have, and you can get another one. But
Are you going to do different size scrap blocks?
what do you mean, different size scrap blocks?
I don't know.
With this, these are all going to be the same size.
Hey, Tiff, are you going to do different size scrap blocks?
No, these are all going to be the same size, the blocks. Let's turn this one and turn that and that. And I'll stack them, and I'm going to sew all these. I think there's like 10 here because I sewed 4 to start with. So I'll be chain piecing all 10 of these together. So for now, just move that out of the way. I'm going to bring my stacks next to me. Just like this. I'm not going to turn or move anything. I'm just going to bring them next to me. Everything's in the order which I stacked them. Also going to clean those up. And remember, last week when I started this, 1 white strip per block. I don't know how that's going to amount up right now because I'm going to be chain piecing all these on here. Should be the same though, but. So I did 14 blocks and cut 14 1-inch strips so far.
Says, oh, is that what that's for? I got my walking foot and couldn't figure out what that part was. He says, thank you.
Yep, that's the guide. So I guess you guys learned something new. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and this little stack first, and I'm going to run all these through and butt them up right next to each other and just sew a chain of all these little guys, and I'm going to keep them in order, which it's hard not to keep them in order because they are all hooked together. I'm just butting them right up to each other. I'm leaving enough room to cut though. I'm just going to keep on going. Some of these aren't as close as the others, but whatever. I'm sewing them through anyway. And this last one, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this real quick. Lay it on my lap. And then I'm going to go ahead and separate all these pieces. So I'm going to turn them upside down.
Am I soon ready to start ironing?
Not really. I'm going to just do it all the chain piece version. This was my bottom piece, remember? So I'm just going to go ahead and stack them up like this. So my bottom piece is still on the bottom. And everything is sewn the correct direction. I'm just snipping them apart with scissors. You could use your rotary cutter for stuff like this, but I'm just going to use scissors today. Every now and then one of these has to be straightened up on the side.
Kentucky lady asks, how do you keep everything straight in your mind? You cut, turn the pieces, and answer all the questions all at the same time. I can barely listen to the radio while I sew.
Yeah, I just used to it, I guess. I don't know. I've been doing it like this for so long. Mostly I do this off camera, but we're doing it on camera now because I'm not rushing this project, but I do want to get most of it done because I have things that I need to film in here, and these kind of projects need to be out of the way. And if I pack it up, I'm telling you, if I pack this up, I will not finish it. So I want it out, visible for me to complete. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and attach to these ones. So they're top to bottom, like they were. I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing. I'm just going to put these under and run this along. I'll probably need a second strip as I'm going. And just grab the next, put it under. And so on and so forth. Oops. Be nice if you were butted up. That way I don't have to cut too much in between. Oops. Be nice if that was down too. I mess up too, you guys. I have those days. I'm going to leave that there. Grab another strip. And continue on. Welcome everybody that's joining in. Glad you all could make it and hang out today while I attempt to get this more done.
Says you make everything look lots easier.
It is easier. I don't know. I find this method so much easier. And you know, T kind of does the same thing. My friend T over at T Quilts, she does the same thing. She chain pieces it through and then keeps those on the machine. And instead of ever breaking thread, I break thread now and then, but instead of ever breaking thread, she takes those front pieces back, puts them where they go with the coordinating whatevers. And then that last piece that's still there was just the last block that gets put together all on its own separately. I mean, a lot of people do it this way. It's not that hard to keep them in order, you know? It just takes a little bit of patience. All right, so these guys are now done. So I'm going to do the same exact thing and snip them all apart. I'm going to turn them upside down for that so that I can see in between the block. You know, it's actually easier. So that's my bottom piece, and I'm just going to go through and separate them and then stack them over there. Just like this. That way everything stays in the order which they were sewn and stacked.
Brenda wants you to know she's still working on the stars, but she's also making it larger. She's putting 30 stars.
For the one from the Sunday before that. The oh my goodness, what stars? What stars? The sawtooth stars.
The sawtooth ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before last year.
Yep. All right, now these are done. Now these ones. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to fill the last of this strip up and then obviously move on to another strip.
Cindy has a jelly roll that is farmhouse red. What would be a good block?
Farmhouse reds?
Yes.
I don't know. This is like farmhouse reds. Here, try this one. Jelly roll. I don't know. There's you could do the sawtooth star. It's like like when you yeah.
Pretty.
You can do that with a jelly roll, but you'd have to have well, no, yeah, because you'd have just have a center block, and that could be all cut from a jelly roll. I used charm squares, but you could do the same cuts from a jelly roll, and then your background color or the center of the star would just be from yardage. And you just make a ton of stars, like it's like barn stars, you know. All right, this one. Veer off. Grab another strip. Excuse me. No, I haven't found the fabrics yet, guys. I do have all the suggestions and everything. I just need to have time to sit down where I'm not filming again and stuff, so I could sit and look. Because I've been really busy the last couple days. Like, more than really busy. Super busy should be the word. I put a lot of effort and work into the things I do here, so I would have been smart if I would have just like cut that. Duh. All right, so now these ones are sewn on here. Now I just need to separate these. Again, that's my bottom piece. I just stack them right back up again. Like this. And I could be quicker if I used a rotary cutter, because I would just lay this whole thing down and just continuously cut each individual one and then pick them up. But I'm using scissors. I'm putting a little bit extra effort into this quilt by using scissors. And one more. Always make sure you clean up your little cuttings if you're cutting at your machine, because they will end up under in the feed dog area and they get really messy from there. All right, now to grab the opposite side. So now I'm going to do these sides over here, and I'm just going to pick this up. And now I have my strip on the bottom so that these can be sewn on the left side instead of the right. So that way they stay in the proper orientation. So I'm going to be putting the pieces on top of them now instead of underneath. It's actually easier to line them up this way too. Because I can see what I'm doing. And if these did get out of order, it's not going to matter because this is really scrappy anyway. I'm just saying. The pieces are pretty moved around. The movement would hide the one or two pieces that you screw up by doing it this way. All right, so since they're on the top like this, I can see them a whole lot easier to separate. Again, that was my bottom piece. Just gonna flip them around and put them right back here again.
What kind of block are you making?
Scott's gonna have to hold them up because they're not near me. They're over there.
Okay, I will 300 people on it.
Oh, 300 of you guys. What?
280, now 270, jumping up and down like crazy.
Well, I am glad you all can make it. If we don't get to all your questions, just hold your horses and sooner or later we'll see it. All right, almost done with these guys, and then we'll start the next ones. Like that. Okay, I'm going to finish off this strip now and do the same with these. These are going to go on top of my little strip. Oh, I'm going to fit 2 on this. Veer off, grab another strip. And continue on. So that's what I made last week's video. Continuing on today to get just a little bit more of this project done. I don't actually always finish things in one day. There are lots of projects that take time, this being one of them, because I couldn't bulk cut all the pieces to go together. It's definitely fun, and it's going to be cute. Definitely going to be cute. Cute, cute, cute. I'm going to love it. I'm pretty sure you will too. All right. They're already facing up, so it makes it easier for me to trim them apart. I'm just going to flip them over because that's the order they go in. I'm also.
Which size do they finish at? 9?
I think they're 9 or 8.5.
9.
They're 9. I'm not. When I turned them into hourglasses from a 10-inch square, they should be a 9-inch because of the seam allowance. But when I cut them up and added these white in them and created the hashtag or pound sign, then I only added 1 inch, which means I didn't take away anything. Because 1 inch, take away a 1/4 inch on each side of that, and you still have that 1/2 inch, which would have been your normal seam allowance. Your normal seam taken, I guess is the word for it.
What brand of rulers do you like best?
I like all rulers. I don't have a specific brand. Whatever is easy to read. I do have to say it is easier to read a Fiskars ruler in my brain than it is to read an Omnigrip ruler. I don't know why. I just something about the grid being so every 1/8 inch or so being a. Hold on, I'm just going to show you just because. A Fiskars ruler is every 1/4 inch, and then 1/8 inches have a little dot which you can line up. But the Omnigrids have every 1/8 of an inch marks, and then the inch marks are marked in yellow. Highly confusing in my brain. I don't know why it is, but it is. And I go to line it up on a 1/4, and I'm like, 1, 2. That's the line. You know what I mean? My brain don't see it that way. These ones, the Fiskars for me, are easier to read. But yeah, I have Omnigrid and Omnigrip, and I like the Fiskars the best.
Mary wants to know if you're feeling better.
No, but I will get better sooner or later. I either have a cold or the flu or a sinus infection, one or the other. But since CJ just had the flu and was diagnosed by a doctor and spent 3 days home last week from school, 4 days home last week from school, that's probably what I have. because it's not just congestion and a cough and everything and runny nose, itchy, watery eyes, and a sinus headache. It's also a tummy ache and stuff. All right, last one lined up. There we go. I'll toss all this in the trash now and move on to the next pieces. And that's the last of them until I put the pieces in between the blocks. All right, so same thing. These are now going to go on top right here, just like this, so that I'm sewing on the left side of the piece and not the right. Fuzz here from the thread. It's not helping me any. All right, 2 more. Then I can start sewing these together. And Scott, you could turn the iron on. I'm just going to put this one over here for now. Snip these little guys apart. Stack them back up.
Oh, I get to iron.
You hear him? He's so excited he gets to iron.
Me and Squeak.
He gets to use his iron.
Nancy said to take it easy and drink plenty of fluid.
Trust me, I'm drinking plenty of fluids. That's one thing I do. Whether I'm sick or not, I drink lots of water. I feel like I have an excessive thirst problem because I drink like 16 of these water bottles a day. Like, I drink a lot of water and I still feel thirsty even after drinking them.
Janice says you could make a video on how to read a ruler. I could do that. I could make a video, teach you guys how to read a tape measure. You know how
I could teach you guys how to read a ruler in 2 seconds. Line it up and make a cut.
You gotta teach them.
Yeah, I could show you all. It's not that hard. It's for beginners. I mean, at first it'll be kind of confusing, but everything that we cut in quilting is usually in a 1/4 inch increments. Now, there are lots of patterns that do have 1/8 of an inch cuts. So like you'll get a pattern that wants you to make half square triangles and you're sewing on both sides of the line, but the original cut was 5 7/8. That way, that when you cut it in half after sewing on both sides of your drawn line and you open it up, you're going to have the 5 1/2 or the 5 7/8. Yeah, 5 1/2 inch. Why am I not thinking correctly? 5-inch blocks. Thank you. My brain. You'll have that size perfect, you know what I mean? Then there are patterns that have you overcut and just cut the 6-inch instead. So on both sides of the line, and bam, you have 2 5-inch squares after you trim it. So that means you have to trim it. So, I mean, there's 2 different kinds of patterns, exact measurements and overcuttage. But most of the time it's in half, 1/4, half, 3/4 inch increments. It's always quarters. There are patterns, like I said, with 8ths, and 8ths are the one everybody struggles with, but it's on every single ruler. So I can come up here with my Missouri Star ruler, hold it right here for you to see, and you can see right here, 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, half, 4/8, 3/4, and 5/8, 1 inch, just like that. It's very easy. And then, like I said, there are rulers that it continuously goes down through the 8ths. I don't like those because it confuses my brain. I like the ones like this because you can line up that 1/8 inch mark, line up every single one of these, and you can still see instead of, crossing over, you can still see your fabric beyond that number. So like if you were holding a piece of fabric to it, so you could see I'm lining it all up on my half line, What if I wanted on the 3/8 or 4/8, 5/8, right there, and 6 and 7. You know what I mean? Makes it easier. I don't know. I find it confusing when it's not that way. All right, Scott, you can press these and keep them in order for me.
Well, I'm trying to find a person to be a monitor.
A moderator?
Yeah, that.
Who needs to be a moderator?
Anyone. We need someone to do it. We don't have anyone.
No moderators are here right now?
I can't take this with me.
Oh, I'm just going to watch the chat then.
Okay, then you do. There you go. Because, yeah, I can't take this up there. I'm getting,
Diane's here. Oh, there's a couple of them here. A couple of spammies.
Yeah, someone to do it. I can't do it.
All right. Reading the comments.
Okay, what am I on?
Keep these in order. This is the top. Obviously, the other one is the bottom. Press them all towards the white.
Okay. Is that the same as all of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can do that.
Keep them in order, though. So when you're done pressing it, turn it upside down and put it out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not done.
Like my video that you saw. The video of my time lapse of how I get things done so fast. This is exactly what I do. Let's see. Tiffany, I haven't been on for quite some time. I'm watching everything you do and learning something new. Awesome, Margaret. To bring this a little closer because it's hard to read that far. Janet says we had a So Easy and I think it has 1/4 inch on it first. Interesting. Janet says it's morning there in OZ. Wish I had a helper for an iron to it. Just if you don't have a husband, then you need a quilty friend or a grandchild or just your kid. Hey, you want to hang out today? Let's hang out, but you're pressing this for me, That's funny. I'll buy you lunch if you press all my pieces for me, you got to bribe them a little. No, he's not. Let's see. Ellen is willing to help though, anybody that needs it. You're trusting Scott to keep them in order. Yeah, I am. And if they get out of order, then
I can do it.
Then, oh well. So while he's pressing the next ones, I'm going to sew these sections together because I need to make a straight piece right here. So I'm going to sew all these together real quick, keeping them in the order that I need them to be. And I'll know that they're correct because this piece should be the same as this piece down here. It should be the same fabric. So that's how I'll know they're still in order. Kathleen, I am working on last Sunday's project. Sewing is my happy place. No husbands allowed. I got to have him help me, when I'm live. Because I try not to, like before I used to have really, really, really long, like 4-hour-long live streams. And I think with him in here, it stops me from having super duper long live streams. And it's actually good because I still have other things I got to do. So that way I'm not super boring everybody. And people have things to do in their lives too. So it's just easier on us to have him help me.
Plus, I like to help.
Plus, he likes to help me. It doesn't even have to be quilting related. He likes to help me. If I want to make my bed and change my sheets so they can be washed, he wants to help. When I'm cleaning my bathroom, he helps. When I'm cooking food, he wants to help, So it's everyday life.
You can comment on a few of those, but I won't.
I don't let him. That's the problem.
Oh, that wasn't going to be my comment.
Like last night making brownies. He wanted to help, but I was like, get out of the kitchen. All right, so these are all connected together. So all I have to do now is finger press them and lay them back down. So that way they stay in order. And the initial piece has been pressed, but this now is going to get finger pressed, and then he can press the whole block when it's done. That's a good man. Yeah, Scotty's a good man. That sounds wonderful. You might have some quilters coming to visit. You got a sewing partner now. He help a lot of women don't have that. Glad you do. Yep, there are a lot of you out there that don't have a helper.
These
but
ones didn't get ironed, right?
We still do it anyway. No. And last one. All right, so that stack's done. I'm going to go ahead and sew all these together now. So I'm just going to go right sides together. And the top triangle of this should match this piece. So that's how I know these are in order too, because of the one turn thing. So I'll get them all sewn up. Hope you know how good you, I hope you know how good you have got it, Iron Man. Oh, funny.
How good I have it. How about how good she has it? Come on now.
I would love to get my hubby into quilting. And you know what? They don't have to be into quilting to help you iron. I mean, especially if you had a spouse that's in the military or was in the military, guess what? They have to iron their own clothes, so they know how to do it. So it's not like any big thing for them to help you in your quilting room with the ironing, because
I am not into quilting.
They should know how to iron.
I am absolutely 100% not into quilting.
Yeah, he's not into the quilting. He will iron for me, and he every now and then, if you guys saw in the video with my grandma's quilt, he tried to help with the cutting, but he definitely did not like how the Martelli cutter feels in his hand.
No, I like the other cutter.
He likes the other cutter, but it wasn't cutting very good because that was my old cutting mat, and we were struggling to cut. Both of us were. But that's what I used the last of that mat up on, actually, was cutting up all those scraps. So I finished it off with a bang. And one more. Again, I'm just going to finger press them for now and stack them back up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to land with the white?
Yeah, that's fine. You're good.
Yeah, I got them in order.
I don't like help. I'm strange to do things my own way. I am too, though. I like doing things my way. I just like the help when I'm live streaming. Everything else I do on my own. He always asks to help when I'm filming and stuff. And honestly, it's so much easier if I just film myself, unless I need an angle and I can't run to the, because I try not to have too many gaps in my videos, and I do edit that stuff out now. I know how to do all that. But when it's a big, huge gap of time and pressing the button, getting in the space I need, I mean, that's like 10 minutes of recording and wasting the memory card, when I could just have him hold it, press go, and I'm already in the spot I need to be and press go, So it actually helps sometimes to have him, help me with the recording. But most of the time it's in here and I do it all on my own. But when it comes to the ironing and, helping with this, I don't mind. And the reading the comments and stuff, definitely, because You should have seen me before. I mean, I still was able to read comments, but not
Am I
every
ironing
single
these?
comment. Like
these?
now. No, you don't have to. I'm just finger pressing these. You can iron the whole block once they're together. My finger is doing a pretty good job.
Okay, then I can get back to my moderate.
Let's see. My husband was in the Marine Corps, and he taught me how to iron. Amanda, that's perfect. Mount Scrap Brenda says my husband is very supportive of my quilt hobby. I think he believes this keeps me out of his hair. Brenda doesn't like the Martelli cutter either. Can't stand cutting over my table. But man, cuts setting down. He loves it. Yes, they do better with a sit down cut than they do standing, but I'm used to it now, so I got my flow. You are right. She doesn't do, but I need
You
an
ever made a
address.
jeans
Tiffany,
quilt?
how do you
Have
what?
you ever made a jeans quilt?
No, I've used jeans to make bags, but I haven't made a quilt with them. I do have a ton of jean, and all the leftovers that I don't use for bags when I make bags from the jeans will go towards a jean quilt. And it's not going to be a quilt where you sew seams this way. It's going to be up because I want to snip them so that they purposely fray, because I think that would look super awesome. Because you guys know the bottoms of jeans, when you get a cutter or the leg or something and it frays, it looks so cool. That's what I want. So I will do it sometime in the future, not anytime soon though, because, well, not anytime soon.
What's your new mat?
My new cutting mat is a Fiskars. It's the 24 by 36 mat. It's actually a good size for this desk, because I've told you guys this before. My desk is enormous. It is 36 inches wide by 72 inches long. So it is 3 yards, or 72 is 3 yards, right? No, yeah. 2 yards. 2 yards long by 1 yard wide. It's like perfect. But there's no cut. They don't sell a cutting mat that fits this size desk. So I do have my main one on this side, and then I have another one on that side. So like when my mom was here, when Eric was here, when Maxine was here, when anybody's here sewing with me, the sewing machine has room to sit on that side of the desk, and they still have a cutting area. Works great. And both sides of the desk you can put your legs under, but that side I have drawers, dresser drawers underneath it.
Tisha says that was her first quilt. It was heavy
Yeah.
to work out.
Yeah, they are heavy. I not made one, but I've held one. And actually there was one at a thrift store recently, but it was like really gross. So I didn't obviously save it and bring it home with me, but it was a jean one, and it was heavy. When I looked at it though, it had too many stains. And that's not going to come out of jean, so I didn't even bother taking it home. All right, once these are done, I just need to sew the opposite sides onto them and then connect them together with the white. And then all of these blocks will be done, and I could start on the next ones, because I have 14 more after this. All right, now to add the other sides. And it would be nice if my thread would stop breaking.
Are you close to Becca?
What do you mean close to Becca? In distance? I live in Arizona. She's in Virginia.
emotionally, you're very
Yes,
close
we
friends.
are very close friends, if that's what you mean, though. There are two different ways. In distance, we are not close. In friendship, we are. Okay. I don't know what it is. I've tried all your guys' little tricks for this Aurifil thread. I turned the thing upside down. I turned it another set upside down. I took the little circle thing off the end. This dummy thing. I took this off the end of it. I put no spool top holder. And then I have a spool top holder. No matter what I do, the thread constantly breaks. And I'm using the correct size needle. I changed my needle 3 times recently because I thought, well, maybe it was the needle. And no, it just keeps breaking thread. I don't know what it is. I think the Juki just goes too fast for Aurifil thread. I don't know. Maybe you guys don't have the problem, but I do. That's why I use other cottons. Because I never really, the only time I have thread breaks is when I free motion quilt. And there's nothing against the thread. It's a nice thread. It's thin. And it, when you go to press your blocks out, it helps them lay a little bit flatter because it's not a super thick thread, But it's still linty like any other thread, and it breaks all the time for me. And I have.
Do you always use white thread?
No, I mix it up. I use grays sometimes, which I have plenty of that too. I got white, gray. I use black when I piece black. If I'm making something with all blues, then I'll use blue thread. If I'm making something with all whatever, I'll use that thread. But this has white mixed in it, so obviously I'm going to use white because when my seam is pressed back like this, if the thread pokes through, it's on a white piece, so it's okay. But I switch colors, but I've been using this for quite a few projects now, so I'm trying to use the whole spool up because I was thinking, well, maybe it's this spool because I have more right here in gray, like Dove, I think it is. I don't know. But I have more to use. And I thought, well, maybe it's that spool. I don't know. Maybe, like how when I long arm, sometimes the glide. Did you know this? This is very weird, honestly. I get spools of glide thread. They're all from the same company, The lady gets them from the same distributor and they all come from the same manufacturer. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is every now and then a spool will come from the left instead of the right. Is that weird? Like every now and then, like most spools unspool clockwise. But every now and then I get a spool that's rolled counterclockwise and my long arm hates it. I have thread breaks all the time and everything. It's the weirdest thing. So this might be that too. I don't know. When it's upside down, it's counterclockwise, but these can be turned upside down. The glide thread can't because the way the spool, sits, it's a big bottom. But yeah, it's very funny. So this could be one of those random spools of thread that's just wound differently. I don't know. It happens. Is somebody having blurred screen problems? Is that what it is? Oh. Have you tried using thread holder on the side of your machine? The thread holder on the side of my machine. What thread holder?
Which Juki do you have?
Mine is the TL 2010Q.
Grace is thinking about getting one from Soya. Tell them that you're an affiliate.
I'm an affiliate with, if you're thinking about it, I'm an affiliate with Soya. I mean, not Soya, with SewingMachinesPlus. Becca is an affiliate with Soya. So, mine is with SewingMachinesPlus though, so you can check that out if you want. All right, I'm going to sew these on now.
Okay, Becca's on now.
Hi, Becca.
Do I need to iron anymore?
Not right this second, no. And welcome everybody that's joining in. I am actually working on last week's project. Same thing. I'm just trying to get it a little bit more done. I am also an affiliate with Connecting Threads and Fat Quarter Shop, my local quilt shop, and Sewing Machines Plus. Is that all 4? Yeah.
Sewing Machines Plus, the local quilt shop,
Connecting Threads and Fat Quarter Shop. Yeah, that's all of them. And that doesn't cost you guys. It doesn't cost you guys to use my affiliate links. It just gives me a small percentage that helps pay for my YouTube channel, pay for things that I need and whatnot. It's just a small little helping thing since YouTube don't pay a whole lot, you know. It's just an extra means of support. A lot of us YouTubers do it. And if you are on a computer, all of my links should be on my main page up in the banner of the pink and purple quilt. Up in that banner in the bottom right corner of that banner, all of my affiliate links are actually right there. You just hover over them and you can see them. And then, or they're in the description of every single video. Oh, and Martelli. I'm also an affiliate with that. I forgot. Duh.
Oh, so you have 5 of them.
Nobody's ever used my Martelli link though. So yeah, I have 5. I knew I had 5. I couldn't think of the last one. But nobody's ever used it, so. And I totally understand. Not everybody wants, you know, their products. But I definitely like the cutter, so that's why I got it, the affiliate thing.
Walmart, eBay than anything.
Yeah. Yep. Walmart doesn't have one though, which sucks.
We use more Walmart than anything.
All right, sew all these ones through, and then I'm going to add my white sashing through every single one of these, putting them all together. Once you start sewing them all this way, it goes pretty quick. I mean, if I wasn't stopping and talking and scratching my nose because of the fluff that's blowing around in here. I will know, but I don't know who uses it. It tells me the amount you spent, the order number, and it's shipped out or whatever, or that it's processing or something. It'll show me that, but it does not show me whose order it is. So. Because if it did, then I would know so-and-so spent $1,013 on Fat Quarter Shop, you know? They're like, what the heck are they buying? They must be having a good old time quilting now. But yeah, I don't see whose they are. I just know, you know, that it's being used. And I appreciate you guys using them too. Thank you. It definitely helps me out. Since I'm not interested, I've had subscribers email me, plenty of them, and tell me, or message me on Facebook or Instagram and stuff, and tell me that I need a Patreon, or I need a Twitch, or I need a whatever. And I'm like, I don't want any more, I don't want any more websites. I don't want to have to deal with any more kinds of things that I have to keep up with, you know. I just, this is fine. YouTube is fine, and having some affiliate links to help support the YouTube channel makes it easier for me, you know. I don't want to have to try to keep up with 10 times more different platforms. I think I do plenty enough here. All right, almost ready to sew them together. Okay, and last one. Look at that. Now to put them together. Turning it sideways now. I'm going to grab myself a white strip, and I'm going to attach it to every one of these. I'm just going to bring this whole thing right here.
Terry says this is only our second time watching, but you can't believe how fast you sew.
I don't sew fast. I could sew faster if I had an industrial machine. I think I'm going to cut these individually as I'm going. That way I don't have to snip them apart later. And it's actually like...
Am I ready to iron it all?
Probably less seconds it takes. Not yet. Nope. Probably takes less seconds to trim them now than it does after.
I only had one troll this whole time since I've been back.
Oh, good. The less trolls, the better.
Well, you got
350 of you. Wow. That's a lot, yes. Yep. That is a lot. I'm not used to, you know, just 5 years ago, I was sewing in my garage and either freezing this time of year and or burning up the other time of year when it's summertime. That was 5 years ago. And you know how many people would be watching? I had like 100 subscribers, and only 5 people would be on the live stream watching me. Then I finally moved into my bedroom, and more people started joining, like 10. So I barely had anybody watching then. But you know what? People were watching, people were hanging out with me, giving me constructive criticism, blah, blah, blah. I had super horrible camera quality. But I couldn't afford much. I was just barely starting, you know? And now, 5 years, fast forward, and look at this. Like, seriously, 350 people? Back then, I couldn't even imagine having 350 subscribers, let alone 350 people watching in one video. It's crazy. It's come a long way. Very long way. But I've also upgraded camera and now my sound, and now I have a computer that every now and then I didn't want to do that today. That's why we're on this. But I can do multiple cameras, you know. I know how to edit videos now. I mean, I'm not the greatest, but I definitely know how to do it now. And I'm still learning more as I go. But, you know, back then, I just had my little sewing machine. I didn't even have that sewing machine. I had a different one. Oh, and my lighting is different. Yep. The only time my lighting was good back when I was in my garage is when it was daytime and the garage door was open.
Yeah.
To let in the sunlight. But
Paula says you're a great teacher.
yeah, it's come a long way. And then back then I only came on maybe once a week, if that. And then I started coming on weekly, and then it kind of just escalated from there. But even then, when I was doing my weekly videos, I still only had like under 1,000, you know, and maybe watching it once.
Well, Teresa's been here from the beginning.
Yep,
Wanda
a
says
lot
she
of you.
started watching you when you were in a wheelchair.
Yep. A lot of you have been with me since then. And when I first started, yeah, that's also another thing that's come a long way. I have MS, if you guys didn't know, multiple sclerosis. And every now and then I do have a severe episode because I'm secondary progressive, which means I have episodes on episodes, blah, blah, blah. But every now and then I have a wheelchair episode, and I haven't had a like long-term one in a long time, but 5 years ago, I was in my wheelchair for over 3 years. Like I could not walk. So definitely there's a lot of difference now, you know. I've come a long way physically as well.
Jelly roll race, and she's a personal friend of Ian, the filter crafter.
Who did what?
Christy found you from the jelly roll race. Personal friend of Ian, the filter
Crafter? Oh, awesome. Yeah, Ian's cool. I like Ian. He's funny.
Janet loves your machine. She wants to upgrade.
This is a good machine. Just remember, there's one thing about this machine that if you are just starting and you've never sewed fast, this machine has a speed control. The Brother 1500, PQ 1500 or whatever, it's the same thing as this. It doesn't have a speed control, so you actually have to do it with your foot. This machine has a rabbit turtle. I don't know about the Janome because I don't remember, but I know someone that has one. I don't think it has a rabbit turtle either. I think it's an adjust with your foot on its own. But this machine has the rabbit turtle function, and you know what? It has saved me many a times from running my fingers over because I did a lot of that in the beginning. And I was actually just talking about that last night.
Said she was there in the garage, on her star in the bedroom.
Yep.
Brenda asked if you still do your exercises.
Yes, I do.
And Kathleen asked if your quilting helped you with the MS.
Yes, it does. It still continues to help me. I mean, there are days, throughout the week. Sundays, I kind of force myself if I'm feeling bad, but there are days where I've let you guys know I can't be on. And I've also been in the hospital a few times. So just 2 years, 2019, I was taken by ambulance to Las Vegas to a hospital because of MS. I couldn't feel the whole right side of my bottom extremities at all. Like with an MS attack, I can normally feel, like I can feel when someone's touching me and stuff, but I could not feel nothing. And then it spread. So I had to go by ambulance to Vegas. All right, let's hook these two together now. Actually, I'm going to hook this onto this side first. That's what I'm going to do.
Ready for me to iron or no?
You can iron all these towards the white, please. Keep them in order. I'm going to attach these first to this other side. But yeah, I've come a long way. It's taken some time. I do have to say, when I was sitting, I had a bar height table in here and I sat on like a stool. That was a no-no because by the time I was done with every video, I had such wobbly legs that I couldn't stand for the rest of the day. That is not good for MS. So if you have MS or any kind of disability that causes numbness and tingling really badly constantly, make sure your feet can touch the ground. It's not a good idea to let them hang while you're sewing. And even when you're not using your foot pedal, put your foot down to the side and let it fully touch the ground because that also prevents my legs from going numb. But I've learned lots of things to help keep myself and my mind sharp, through this process.
You do a lot of math with this too.
Yeah. Yep. It's like it's definitely helping a lot of my issues.
Miriam's a great video.
And the weird part is a lot of you guys are going back and watching some of those earlier videos.
I do.
So thank you. Even though the quality is horrible, I still explain what I'm doing. I mean, and you can still kind of see what I'm doing. You just can't see the vibrant colors and all the fabrics that I use, that's all. Oops, I should have cut that first. Duh. That one's not big enough. Ooh, I might need more than 14 pieces this way, doing it like this. Starting to sound like I'm running out of bobbin. You get your machine, especially this one. It has like a weird, the sound in the machine it changes when you run out of bobbin, or as it's running out of bobbin. Needs to manage the quilting depth at Walmart are never. That's good stuff. Right now, it looks like a storm had went through it. Oh no. Yes, I definitely need to go work at the fabric department at Walmart. Ours always looks like a mess too. I mean, it's a clean mess, but if people take bolts off the shelves and they put them in like crazy places. And then sometimes people don't even work in that section come and cut fabric, and then they don't even stack it back. They just put it on another shelf, and it's always the for sale shelf, the clearance shelf. And I'm like, this is not clear. I'm scanning all these things. They're regular price. I'm like, why are they stacking what they just cut on this shelf? It's so dumb. It's frustrating, that's for sure. Oh, yep. Ran out. See, there's just a sound. You'll get used to it if you own one of these machines. It's a good thing I have another bobbin rolled.
We're not ready for an iron anymore yet, right?
No, not yet.
I guess we know that battery line. How long was that unplugged? 30 seconds? A minute? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Here, sister had MS as well. Love all your efforts with the MS. I know it could be painful, but keep going, Tiff. Don't let it win. I never let it win. I always keep going. Even when I can't, I still go. All right, where was I? Let me grab this piece. Which thread do you use in the bobbin? I'm using the R-fill as well in the bobbin. Here's my thing. When I'm making something and I go to, roll bobbins, I always roll a bobbin of the same thread that I'm using on the top. I use the same brand and everything in the bottom. So I have tons of bobbins that are filled with different brands of threads and different colors that I probably will never even finish using because, I'm out of that color or, whatever. I didn't mark down the brand that I use, and some blacks aren't the same as other blacks, So, or some whites aren't the same as the other white. I can kind of tell if I take a little bit off the bobbin though and hold it next to a thread because some of the thicker threads you can see the difference, but 90% of the time I use the same bobbin as the thread on top. It's just easier that way for me. I try not to overwind bobbins too. That way I don't have too many left over of a certain color. All right, last little piece here, and now I can start attaching all of these together. The what?
Is it easy to insert the bobbin? Is that where you are?
Oh yeah, it's very easy to insert the bobbin.
Where did you stop reading? Which thread did you use in the bobbin?
Yeah. Yeah, the Geraldine's comment.
Okay. So, is it easy to insert the bobbin then? Your next question.
Yes. Very easy. All right, Mr. Scotty, you can press these back too.
Oh, now that I just got it on and started, now you're ready.
Okay, put them back in order again, and then I can sew them all together.
Is it easy to insert?
Yes, the bobbin goes in quite easily.
Okay, yeah, you did that one.
Linda says watches a lot of my videos, sometimes even make it on a live stream. Like tonight, I just don't tend to post very often. Love your videos. Thank you. Baby Lock Chaz. It's fast, sometimes too fast for me, but I love it. Greg, talk to someone else. You can yeah, they have them in every brand. There's a straight stitch in almost every brand. And they all look exactly like this. It's pretty crazy, except for the Baby Lock Jazz. That one's a little bit bigger of a throat space, but the top, the hearth of it sits a little bit lower than this one does, but it's a lot longer. Definitely a lot longer. Look, it squeaked for you. Squeak is squeaking for Scotty today. Welcome everybody joining in. Oh, thank you, Dorothy. I'm glad you can watch. Jackie said her 87-year-old mom just figured out how to use YouTube so that she can watch me. How cool, huh? Catherine made my enchiladas. Yum. I can't until you're done ironing.
You don't have nothing on that one.
No, it only needs to be on this side and that far side.
Oh.
Casable's here. Morning. Can you use poly on quilts of cotton? You know, I don't see why not. I use polyester thread to quilt, so I don't see why you can't piece it with polyester. Your clothing is pieced together with polyester and it holds, you know, it stays together. So I don't see why you can't piece a quilt with polyester. I don't see anything wrong with that. If it's what you can afford and what you like to use, then
There you go.
So be it. Use it up. You know what I mean? All right. I'm going to attach these together and then I'll attach this side onto that side. So let's run these through. Look at that. Almost done. Almost done. No, you'll still have to press after the blocks are sewn.
Well, it's 6:30. How much longer are we going? More? I don't mind.
Almost done.
Okay.
Once I'm done with these blocks. So the next ones I'll start later, but I will give them a quick show on how I cut them and sew them together before I do the next trim. That way it's freshly embedded in their memory if they didn't watch last week's video.
Okay. What's the throat size of your juki?
9 inches from the needle to the start of the hearth. That's why I didn't like using it as a mid-arm sewing, as a mid-arm on a frame, because you run out of room pretty quickly. Like, not just pretty quickly, very quickly. Especially if you're like me, a quilter like me, who has everything is in such big form, you know, and I quilt so fast. And I'm not lining up my red. I mean, my white, the strips, I'm not lining them up. So like when I say lining them up, I'm not lining it up to make one continuous piece. If it lands there, it lands there. If it don't, it don't. I kind of like the idea of it being a little bit messy. You know what I mean? So I'm not worrying about if it's landing perfect or not. I'm not looking for it purposely. Just sewing them on. I really absolutely cannot stand this dust right now. Excuse me for a second while I play with my nose. Oh my goodness.
Amanda loves how you just let your creativity flow.
Oh, so much little tiny speckles of dust. It does not help. No, no, no. right, so all I'm gonna
Kathleen says
do
you need a dust catcher.
is, yeah, I need some, like an air purifier type deal, you know, something like that. We don't have one of those here in our house, at our house. All right, so now I'm going to turn this whole thing around and attach these on this side, and then Scott can press the whole entire block.
Good, I get to work.
When you do press these towards the white. I usually don't, but it's 2 layers behind it, so it shouldn't show behind it. Huh?
Don't tell me now. I'm going to iron it now. Tell me
In a minute.
when you give me to iron.
Yep.
What made you want to be a quilter?
Helping with my MS. Something to do for therapy. Something to do for fun. As soon as I made my first quilt, I was hooked and it was helping. And I was like, oh my goodness, I got to do this again. And then it was helping some more. And you know, that's how it works. This cures depression, anxiety.
Yeah, but what made you want to?
What made me want to? I saw a quilt on the internet, and I'm starting to think it was on Recycled Quilt on Facebook. That's what I saw it on Recycled Quilts with Taffy. I think that's the original quilt I saw a long, long, long time ago and said, oh, I can make a quilt. And the funny thing is very shortly after, when I learned of YouTube and everything, I found my friend Taffy. That's the longest person I've been subscribed to, actually, before Missouri Star for quilting, was Miss Taffy Pools, the drag queen quilter.
Oh.
I've known him, Shane is his name, for a very, very, very long time. All right, last one, and then I can start stacking up and cutting the other pieces so that I can show you guys real quick how that part starts.
Yeah, please her smoking. Only you could do that.
I do sit in here long enough to, you know, if I was on camera for like 3 hours, I don't smoke those 3 hours. So being creative and quilting and doing stuff, the less I smoke, yes. But it does help with more than just those kind of things. It helps with a lot of things. All right. So those are all done. I'm going to hand them to Scott to press before you guys see all 10 of those.
Okay.
And then I'm going to...
How do you want me to press them, you were saying?
Towards the white. No, under. Under. Flip it under.
Show me. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. It's white this way, and this one is white this way. So this one's under, and this one's under that way. Like that. All right. We're kind of going backwards here, but this is just a review so that I can get these for the hourglasses sewn. I'm going to stack them up.
Keep these in order?
No, not anymore. They're done. Once done, they're done. No order needed. I'm going to stack these up in no particular order. And there's 2 stacks of 7 because there's 14 squares here. I don't even know what number I'm on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, side. Now both stacks have 7. All right, so what I'm going to do next is, now that they're in 2 piles of 7, because I only had 14, but you can stack up as many as you need because it doesn't really matter with what I'm going to do here. You're going to see. I'm going to switch to a bigger rotary cutter because the bigger one cuts through bigger amounts of layers better. I'm going to cut from corner to corner like this. Oops. Just like this. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm not going to move anything and cut this corner as well. Just like that. And then I'm going to do the same with the other ones that are probably not even in the camera frame, but I got to cut them anyway. And then cut to the other side. No, I don't see them while I'm cutting. Okay. I'm going to take this whole entire stack now. Oops. Some of these that skip a little thread. I hate when it happens too. I'm like, are you kidding me? Skips one little thread. I'm going to stack them up now. Just like this. And stack it up here and stack it up here. And now what I'm going to do, since they're fully stacked, to mix this up, I'm just going to take a couple. So I'm going to take 2 from the top of this one and put them on the bottom. Then I'm going to take 4, 2, 3, 4 from the top of this one and put it on the bottom. Then I'm going to take 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from this one and put them on the bottom. And now they're fully mixed up, and I'm just going to sew them together like this. So I'm going to make my hourglasses real quick, and that'll be the last thing I do for today, because I'll do all the cutting and sewing again probably next Sunday if I don't get to it in that time. Joyce quit smoking a while ago, December. Still want one every once in a while. You know, my grandma was like that too. All right, so I'm just take these first 2 right sides together. I'm going to match up the bottom. I really don't care about the top. I just want the bottom and side to be matched up. 1/4 inch seam. Then I'm going to take the next 2 right sides together. And this time my square part of it is at the top. So I started by putting the point under. Now I'm putting the... Huh?
Grandma, you made quilt for the other one?
No, another person.
Okay. If your grandma, I was going to say, I don't think the grandma you made quilt for ever. You talked about the other grandma that lived in town.
Yes. It won't let me. I'll have to do it in here. It won't let me. What do you have to do in my channel, in the channel settings? Oh, unhidden. Oh, somebody got hidden accidentally. Okay. Oops. That happens. Huh?
I know how to do all that.
Yep, I'm seeing Becca. Thank you. Sometimes the chat goes so fast, and it happens on your channel too, Becca, when I'm moderating. The feed will be going so fast, and then I'll see a thing come through, like a oh my god, a troll or whatever. I'll see one of those come through, and I go to hit it, and it hits the next one down or the next one down because it's scrolling so fast. So I have to like scroll back up and find it. And it's especially hard on a computer because you have to hover over the 3 dots at that person's name. So I have to stop the feed from rolling on the computer, you know, and go that way.
Yeah, I gotta say, I like the tablet better than the computer.
Yeah, when it comes to removing trolls as a moderator, the tablet's a lot easier, or phone even. The computer, it's a little bit harder. Relax. Another great live, Tiffany. Have a great evening. Bye, Brenda. hi to anybody who is leaving.
Like an iron nose tube.
Mm-hmm. And then these will be done for now because I will be done for now. I'm not going to do the rest. Oh, and if you guys noticed, all 14 strips were used just as equal. So it's one 1-inch strip per block. So if you're using, say you're making 32 blocks or 42 blocks, then you need 32 or 42 1-inch strips. That means you need 32 inches of fabric or 42 inches of fabric. So just so you know. So if you're using a whole layer cake for this project, it makes it easier. And there goes the thread break again. Where did it break at? Oh, it broke at the bottom of that one. Go figure. I don't know what to do about this thing. Once this is done, I'm going to try one more brand. Not brand, but one more from this brand. And if it keeps doing it, then I'm probably going to stop using this brand. Because it's not like it's happening every 2 seconds, but it definitely happens quite often. All right. Huh?
What do you do with all your quilts?
All the quilts, I either gift them to family members, friends. That includes little quilts that I make in videos as well. I do giveaways with them, and I also sell, because if I don't sell my quilts, then I will never make up enough money to buy more fabric to make more quilts for you guys. So I have to sell them. But there are times that I do give lots of quilts away. So that's pretty much what I do with them. It depends on what pile I stick it in. Some of them I say, I want to sell that. Some of them I say, that might be a gift for so-and-so, or that one I'm going to save for whatever. You know what I mean? So it's not, the decision doesn't get made right away. But a lot of my little projects either get auctioned off or given away for giveaways here on my channel. Randomly, too. You guys never expect it. You never see it coming when it happens either. Is what?
Spool sideways.
Is what?
Aerofill thread supposed to come off spool sideways.
It probably is. I don't know. I have no idea. I probably could have Googled it, you know. Why does my Aerofill thread keep breaking in my Juki machine? But I probably would have got a lot of butt-headed answers.
Diane says she has a Christmas quilt she won.
Yeah, I know.
Do you take scraps of fabric?
Yes, I do.
Apparently they didn't see the video the other day.
Yeah, I get scraps sent to me in the mail. I can't say all the time. It's not all the time. It seems like lately, but it's not. That's only because I got 4 small, if it's at ships boxes in like a 2-week period of time. So it doesn't happen all the time. Maybe once a month I'll get some scraps, and it's not a humongous box, but I trim them down. 25 patch blocks get made from it. I use it for stuff like this. So it goes pretty quick when I get scraps in.
Fabric is stringy.
You mean shredding? When your fabric is shredding?
Probably.
I keep sewing it. That's what I do. You will have, okay, I'm not a starcher. I don't starch very often. It's very rare, but I do sometimes. But when you start your fabric and iron it and then cut it, you have less fraying than when you just open it off the bolt and cut it and keep going. So if you're having struggle with lots and lots of fraying, start your fabric first, then cut it. And that goes with pre-washed fabric as well. I don't pre-wash either, so I don't pre-wash or starch. I just kind of go, and I use so much pre-cuts, you can't wash pre-cuts anyway. And it's easier to just sew them than to starch pre-cuts first, honestly. Yardage, yes, starch it. But pre-cuts, I mean, it depends on the block you're making from it, but yeah, to prevent shredding, starch your fabric first. And your fabric will still shred if it's been washed. Just know that too. After you start cutting and start working with it, it's still going to shred. And there is no fabric that I have ever found that doesn't shred. Every single brand will shred. Just depends on which direction you're cutting it and how you're sewing it, you know? How much you're moving it around. That's just the weave coming undone. That's all it is. Welcome anybody that's joining. And by the way, when you're sewing these blocks together like this, they are 100% on bias both directions. It's the outside that's the straight grain. So just be careful when you're sewing them together because it is all bias and they do stretch. So I try to like hold them nicely and I don't tug. I kind of let the machine do its thing. Ah.
Do you hand wash your red fabric?
No, I do not. The only time I have ever pre-washed any fabric, or times plural, is I got a big box of scraps sent to me, and it wasn't just scraps, it was jelly rolls, layer cakes and stuff. And I'm a smoker, but I'm a smoker that can smell smokers. So it was a big box filled with smoker fabric, and I had to wash it because I couldn't have it in here. It was really bad. And the other time I had to pre-wash everything, even layer cake squares and everything, was somebody had perfume, like super duper duper strong perfume. Like they had put a whole bottle of perfume and dumped it in the box and then kept it in the box for 20 years. And it got so strong. It was a killer. We opened the box and we had to leave the box in the garage because it was absolutely terrible for me. Those are the only times I've ever had to wash anything. So if you are planning on sending me something, just know that the smell of smoke and the smell of perfume, highly sensitive to. I've never smoked inside, so it doesn't get on everything, which is kind of good because, you know, I make things to sell. So I definitely don't want cigarette smoke on it. Or Mr. Thumpy Cat hair. Huh?
He's not even in here.
He's right there. He's licking himself.
Yeah, but he's not in here.
He's having a licking fest by the door.
Yeah,
he says, I don't want to be on camera today. He's just sitting there licking himself. That's all they ever do. Eat, sleep, lick. Repeat. All day, every day. All right, so they're in sets of 2 now. To keep these together, just cut every 2 apart like this. Oops.
Do you iron your fabric first?
Oh, yeah, I iron. Yes. Especially scraps, when people send me scraps. But again, I said I will soon enough. I'm filming something else currently, but as soon as I get a chance, I will make a how I organize video for everybody to see. All right.
Oh, see, and Debbie says your cat's adorable.
Yes, he is adorable and annoying at the same exact time. Oh, guess where I found him today, guys? Remember I told you he's so fat he can't jump on my long arm? Yeah. He can't jump from the front because there's the bars, you know, so he can't, there's nothing to catch on to. But today I loaded the long arm and I decided to go outside and have a smoke. I came back in the house and he was on the back of my long arm, but not just sitting there. He was on the back side. My machine was all the way back because I had just basted the quilt. So the machine was kind of sitting to the back of the machine of the frame. It was all the way back. He was on the back of my tray, the big long tray back there, playing with the thread on the long arm. He was batting at it, trying to get it to unthread, like to pull the thread out. That is what he was doing on my long arm today. I don't know how he got up there, but he figured it out finally after all this time. And yeah, I had to shush him down. Oh my goodness. Yep. There's always a first for everything. And yeah.
What needle brand and size are you using?
Organ needles. I always use organ needles, especially in this machine. I use Schmetz in this one, in the Brother machine. But I always use organ needles in the Juki. And I think this one is a 9014. Because the one I had in here first was 116. It had a smaller hole. I was thinking it would be better for this Orfil thread because I think this is 50 weight. Hold on. Let me look to make sure. Yeah, it's either 50 or 30. I don't know. There's two numbers on here. I'm thinking it's 50 because 50 is smaller. But yeah. What was I saying? Oh,
Becca says you use the HL X5 needle.
I never heard of it.
You use the HL X5 needles, right, Tiff?
The ones I use are the Oregon HAX1. And then let's see. That's 9014. 9014.
That might be why your thread is shredding.
15 ones. What are the others? Oh, 15. I've been using these for years, and it's just this thread that does it on here. Is my mommy here?
Yes,
Hi, mommy. If you guys didn't know, Beth is my mom. Yeah, these are all HAX1. Every single one of them. All the different sizes even. I've been using these for years. I've never had a problem. But maybe I should get the other ones for this brand of thread and when I free motion quilt. Which I rarely do, but sometimes I do. All right, so I'm just opening these up and finger pressing, sort of finger pressing to one side and then the other one to the other side. And then I'm putting them right sides together and going down the middle. Again, it's all biased, so it's going to stretch, so be very careful. I just nest my seam. That's all I do. And I hold it. I slide this under first.
Becca says the HAX1 you can stop digging through the needle.
The HAX1 what?
The one that you're using is good.
Yeah.
Stop digging through.
Yeah. I do want to, in the future, I haven't done it yet, but I do want to try titanium. So many people have told me good things, and I've read good things about using titanium needles in these machines versus just these regular ones, and that they last longer and blah, 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 and they're more sharp. They stay sharp longer. They more, whatever. The puncture hole is less blah, 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 like so many different.
Have you ever heard of bro thread?
Bro thread? Brother thread. Yeah, bro thread. BRO thread. That's what my mom just got a ton of for her embroidery machine was bro thread, I think is what it's called.
Have you ever used it for sewing? She says that she knows it's good for embroidery. But
nope. Mm-mm. Huh?
Where did you buy your long arm?
My long arm came from SewingMachinesPlus. It is a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition. And it came from SewingMachinesPlus. There is a link in the description below every single one of my videos. And it right now it's way cheaper than it was when I bought it. When I bought it, it came up to it was like 10,000 or it was $9,100 and something dollars. It was right at 10,000. Now you can get them for $7,999 with your frame and everything. And if you want rear handlebars, obviously that costs more. And so, and a bigger screen, that costs more. But yeah, they're a lot cheaper now than they used to be.
And Becca says she can send you some of those titanium needles.
Oh, she has some? Yeah, I've always wanted to try them, but I never, because they are a little bit more pricier than the regular needles. That's why I've always just bought Oregon needles. But I always wanted to try it because I've read some good things and heard some good things about them, especially for industrial machines or semi-industrial, you know what I mean. And since I make a lot of bags and stuff, I think that might be something worth trying. You guys, just so you guys all out there know, there are quite a few people that are here in the chat tonight that are moderators that have a channel of their own. So if you guys wouldn't mind putting your channel link into the chat so that everybody can find you.
Debbie wants to know about your fabric store.
My local shop sells the glide thread. They sell all sorts of thread. They have Borophyll there. They have glide there. They have what's that other one called? Harmony, which is the same company. It's by Filtech. What is that other one?
Okay, they just wanted to know about the store.
They sell all sorts of stuff there. The store has everything, and there's a link in the description below that. You tell her that Tiffany sent you, and she'll know. She has a website. It's online. It's an online thing, All right. I'm slacking here. I was trying to get these done pretty quick so that I could have food and more brownies. I had a quick snack before live, but it definitely was not enough. Guterman, yes. I think they sell that there too. Oh, there's a Thumpy. Yeah, and I use that too, Diane, as well. The connecting threads thread. As well as Superior and a couple others. Yeah, Brenda, if you would ask one of the moderators kindly, they can put a link to your channel. Brenda also has a channel, and she does some really cool stuff there. She did a series just recently with churn dashes. Definitely lots of fun. Yeah, Scott doesn't know how to do channel links. I could too, actually, because I'm literally right here. If they don't do it, I can run in and grab one.
Rebecca already did it.
Oh, see, I'm not as fast as her. Yep, there you go.
Becca's on it.
Becca's always on it. We like have those reverse roles. When I'm watching her, I do it. When she's watching me, she does it. All right, a couple more to go. Yeah, don't forget to check out some of those channels if you're new and haven't heard of them yet, too.
Fabric leaves more lint in your machine.
Lower quality fabric leaving more lint? No, I think it's all the same to me. The only one that leaves the least amount of lint is batiks. Those are the best to sew with because they're like almost lint free, and I would say 90% of the time they don't shred either. So all of your struggles go away when you're using batiks. Yep. They even press easier. Like you could just finger press it perfectly and you never even have to take it to the iron. Like they just are amazing. I love them, but I don't have a lot of it. I love using batiks. All right, 2 more to sew, and then I can start cleaning up to get off of here. I could just finish off with you guys while Scott presses these real quick. That way they're ready for next time and can be laying flat. And I guess next Sunday I will sew these together. There's no putting this in a box, and because it'll never get done. I have that problem. There's no such thing as project boxes in here because I have project boxes sitting over where Scott's sitting, and they're from like 2016, I think. Yeah, there's quite a few from 2016, and I've not touched them. I could see what's in the bins too, and I haven't touched them. I did touch one box to show Eric the block that was inside the box before, though, because we were talking one night, and yeah. That was it. That was the only time I touched one of those boxes. He's on Zoom right now. Tonight's a Zoom night, and the Zoom comes on when I'm on. So. Been on in a while. Yeah, tonight's a Zoom night. That's why T isn't here either. She would have popped in too.
Is Eric on Zoom every Sunday night?
No. It's only once a month.
Where was he last Sunday?
Sick. He's been sick. We talked on the phone that day, though.
Becca wants to know, is that T's Zoom?
Yeah.
It's on tonight?
Yep. The link is over in the group. I'm hoping to be able to catch it after here, but we'll see. I don't always get to because I have been on for who knows how long now. I don't know.
Susan wants to know which way you finger press the seam before you sew.
Oh, I just finger press them one way or the other. Like the two are opposite seams, and then the one long one, I just go one way or the other. Whatever way my finger is pushing it, that's the way I press it. I've never been the kind of person to care like an open seams and press seams this way and that way. I mean, there are a few things I open seams on, but I definitely most of the time just press things one way or the other. It really doesn't matter in my world. They all lay the same once you're done. I mean,
Becca is saying the same thing I tell you all day long. She wants a yes or no.
Do you want me to send you some? Yes,
I've
sure.
asked you already, and you never answered her.
Yes, Becca. I thought we were talking about the group, the Zoom.
Yes, but I asked you about the needles a while ago.
Oh, I don't even remember. Sorry, I forgot that quick. I thought we were on to something else.
Do you have a design wall?
No, I do not have a design wall, but when my son moves out and I have my fabric room, which will be the room next door, then this one will get cleaned up and organized, and all the fabric will go over there. And this room, this whole wall will become a design wall. Not the whole wall, but a big portion of it will become a design wall. Right now, I have a design floor in here for small things and a design bigger floor in the living room. And when I do little projects like this, I can usually lay them out right here on the table, which I'm going to do before I leave, is going to lay those so you can see the general idea of what they're going to look like. It's going to be an odd number because it'll be 28 total finished blocks. And I'm trying to think right now. 28. So that'd be like what? 5 across, 7 down? What does that equal? 5 times 7?
35.
Oh, no. I have 28. So 5 times 6?
30.
5 times 5.
25.
6 times 7?
42.
Nope. That's way too much. So it'd be 5 by 5.
What are you trying to get at?
28.
What's your magic number?
28. That's how many blocks I'm going to have. I'm not going to go 4 across by 7 down. That'll look funky. All right, so this is what we'll have to start with again. So now I have all those ready for the next time I work on these. Let me go ahead and lay these on the table for you guys to see.
Am I ironing now?
No, you already, oh, these, yeah, you can iron these, but we don't have to do it right now. I'm just going to lay these out with a general idea right down here on the table, and I'm going to turn the camera so that they can see.
Where did you get your rotary cutter, Tiff?
My rotary cutter came from Amazon, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, Amazon.
I think so, yeah. I think it was an Amazon buy.
Yep.
You do have a link in the bottom, though, for Martelli.
Yes,
right?
I do have a link, though, affiliate link for Martelli Notions to get that rotary cutter. I'm kind of trying to give you guys a general layout of this real quick.
What's your long arm machine again?
My long arm is a King Quilter 2 Elite Special Edition. All right, and there's 2 randoms because I don't have an equal number, obviously. All right, camera is going to be moving, camera moving, camera moving. So there's the general idea of all this. Oops, I'm stepping on my cord and I can't go any higher. So that is what it will look like when they all go together. It's just going to be mixed up. Whatever number my layout will be, because I can't do math right now on the spot in my head. But that's pretty much the basics of what it's going to look like. And I was kind of thinking of adding sashing between them, because I still have to cut more sashing strips for the other 14 blocks. But I was kind of thinking of a sashing going between them all too. But then I was thinking, well, that might break up the little pinwheels it's creating here with like a secondary block. So I might just leave it like this when I put them all together. So, and then I'll probably I'll use white for the first border and then pick out a fabric from my stash. If I, these kind of reds and creams and blues, and make it work kind of thing. All right, so that's what I got going on here. So that's the general idea. I have 14 more to make. When I finally get to it, again, it'll probably be next week. If I don't get it, the quilt that I loaded on the long arm is probably going to take me like 5 days to quilt or more, because it's all custom quilting. So it's going to take me a little bit of time. Plus I'm filming. So yeah, there's that this week all just right there,
Plus you have 2 doctors.
Plus I have doctor's appointments this week and everything. So yep. But I will try to get this done next week. Hopefully the last 14 blocks can get done, and then I could start putting it together. So, whew, there we have it. Done so far. So anyway, I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me today. Does anybody have any questions they need to ask before I go? Last chance, because I won't be here in like 5 minutes to answer again. I'm going to get off of here so that I can go eat and so on and so forth. Hang out with my husband for a second while I eat, and then I'll probably try to join Zoom. So, yes. Yes. When are you coming to visit, Becca? I don't know, because I'm not coming when there's snow on the ground at your house. Way colder there than it is here. But I want to come, right? Anyway. Alrighty.
She says so not this week then.
I know what you want. You want my help. I know what you want. Yep. All right, guys. Well, don't forget, if you are new and haven't yet, please subscribe down this way. Don't forget to give a thumbs up on your way out. and share my channel with your quilty friends. And don't forget to check out my quilty friends that have their channels on here, which were linked in the chat at one point in time. Other than that, I'm going to go. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you whenever I see you.
Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye. I can click off now.